if you are just by yourself learning it as a one individual, it's very difficult to integrate it because you coming in, you start to call out the cycle, or you start to make references to the cycle or to even the raw spots or the triggers, and people like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't even understand what you're saying. So as a group, if you have managers or internal trainers to do the training together, now you have a whole army, so to speak, of learning the tools, learning the process, learning the roadmap. And the most important thing, to answer your question, Jenna, what exactly do you do to create a more connected culture, is you start to learn how to be accessible, responsive, and engaged. This is what Neve referred to it in her early explanation, is that one of the key questions in relationships where we depend on each other is the question, are you there for me? That's how our brain tunes in to know, am I safe or not? So if the answer to the question, are you there for me, is a no or a maybe, your brain will be constantly vigilant for threat. It will question everything. So are you there for me translates to, are you accessible to me? Can you tune into your emotions? Can you share what is happening for you in a way that doesn't come across as judgmental, critical, or blaming or judging? R is, can you be responsive to me? When I share my struggles, my hurt feelings, or my worries and concerns, can I see that you're responsive to me? And are you engaged with me? Even though you don't agree with me, can you still be emotionally engaged with me? And those little disconnects that Neve referred to happen unrecognizable, so to speak. I'll give you an example. I worked with one particular team, and one of the team members was a new hire. And so she was assigned to a person who would help her to get the work done. And she would come in and say, can you explain to me this in this work instruction because I don't understand? So this coworker was helping her, but because the new hire was coming to her a lot, the coworker became annoyed with her. And her facial expression, every time she would ask a question, her facial expression would be like, oh my God, not again. Are you kidding me? How many times do I have to explain? That facial expression gave her the message rejection. So the new hire stopped coming to her and says, well, I'm feeling rejected and I'm annoying her. She doesn't have any patience for me. And now she's feeling isolated. Now she stopped going to her coworker and she's not telling anything to the manager. So this is a disconnect happening. And what happens is people now suffer in isolation, and they start to become more and more protective. They're using protective behaviors, which is withdraw, distance, avoid. And now they're in a negative cycle because the other person doesn't know what's going on and how they impact. Not that the other person did anything wrong. What I'm saying is that those little disconnects create more and more protective behavior, which keeps negative cycle going, which creates more and more disconnection. When people go through the certification process and learn how to notice, how to have these conversations and say, listen, I get so overwhelmed when you have so many different questions, and I care about you and I want to help you. Maybe we can have a set of time where you can come with all the questions at once. And that way I do my work and I can help you. That doesn't happen. They get emotionally stressed, and then the response comes in and the other person gets hurt. So when people have a way to slow things down, they can learn how to talk to each other and how to repair those disconnects and move forward. This is one of the most important things in the EMC process. How do you have these tools and move